Hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes, the I think we've been saying it for a while, but the best Patriots podcast out there. Yeah, easily. I am Mike Sullivan. With me, as always, Liam McDade. He's feeling a little Christmassy because he has a Christmas hat on. Liam, what's up? How's it going?
I am incredible. I had a long, very marvelous, exquisite, and exciting New Year's weekend. And now I'm putting an end to my 2-day bender, and it's all recovery and New Year's resolutions from here on out to better my life.
Let's get into it. How was your New Year's Eve? Do you do anything crazy?
I not even particularly crazy, but like I went down the Cape. We had basically the house to ourselves. Big group of us went down there from sun up to sundown. We consumed a lot of alcohol and talked of poems and prayers and promises.
That sounds fun. Did you watch the ball drop?
Yes. Okay. Only at the end. Like I tune in at 11:59. We're not watching the celebration beforehand.
Well, first of all, the celebration, you had like Macklemore, Ja Rule. I was like, what are we doing?
Macklemore was performing.
Macklemore was there. First of all, not first of all, because there is no second of all. It's just the one of all. Macklemore, one of my only 2 concerts I've ever been to.
Was it fantastic? I wanted to see Macklemore concert.
It was fucking tremendous.
I love Macklemore. People shit on me. They're like, Macklemore. I'm like, yes, I think he's fantastic. And
people shit on him. I know
he's entertaining.
I don't know. People shit on it. All stems from what he won the Grammy over like Kendrick Lamar, and everybody was upset about it, which like whatever. That's not. This is not a hip hop podcast. But no, Macklemore, not. Thumbs up from us.
Resounding thumbs up.
Anyways, though, what else gets a thumbs up? Patriots put up a 50 burger on the Jaguars. 50 5 first, piece. Like I don't if you're watching on YouTube, I don't know how to hold this mic and make it not weird because it has like a stand, so I'm holding it by this. It's very strange. I feel like none of this looks natural, but it's gonna, I don't know, it feels weird.
Just work it. You're doing your absolute best.
I'm just gonna, we're just gonna roll with it. But 50-10. I am actually happy that the Jags got that touchdown because it gives Bill Belichick something to tear this team apart about. But I think we need to start with Mac Jones, where we always start.
Yep, Mac Jones, our true north, our oracle.
Our oracle. 22 of 30, 227, 3 touchdowns, no picks. I think he had like a 128 passer rating or something like that. This is the performance that I can get used to with Mac Jones, I think.
Dare I say, another virtuoso. I mean, I don't want to call it that because it's a given. The Jags are awful, arguably the worst team in the league. He started out 7 for 7 passing. Even like his incomplete pass that he had to break that streak was a damn good pass. It's just he was on his game today, took advantage of a weak team. Everyone was playing up to potential, just stuff we didn't see the last 2 weeks. And like you said, could absolutely get used to this, could see us needing to get used to this pretty regularly because this seems like the baseline for when Mac Jones, out of his rookie season, second year, third year, as he starts to develop and kind of become his own quarterback like Russell Wilson did after his rookie year and stuff like that. This is the game I would expect from Mac Jones basically going forward.
Yeah. I mean, the yards, I don't know, the yards are never going to be crazy up there. People forget up until like 2014 or so, or maybe even a little earlier, Brady was never throwing for all these yards either. It really started.
He's always been dink and dunk.
Yeah, which is fine because like the dink and dunk has such a like negative connotation to it. I don't know why, because all you're doing there is making the smart decision. But
but it's also you run more passes in dink and dunk. Like obviously, you're going to go like 9 plays instead of 4 plays if you get like a 50-yard pass for a touchdown. And that gives the defense, 4 more opportunities to intercept you. In theory, it's still so hard. The margin for error is so small. So there's benefits and drawbacks. But I like it. I like the game. You're basically taking after the greatest to ever do it. So I understand the model that they're going for. And apparently it's fucking working because we 50-piece them. We've been dropping big points in big games against bad teams, which is all you can ask for. Give me that.
No, you can't beat. I think this was the 3rd time they scored 50 or more, which is, I think the Patriots have only done that 3 times under Belichick, this being one of those years. I think it was 2017 and like 2012 or something like that. I think I saw. But Mac Jones, he didn't. I was writing everything down because I do have a handy dandy little Patriots notebook now that my mom got me for Christmas. Thank you, Mom. I don't think that I don't think she listens, but
no. My mom doesn't either. She just puts cigarettes out on me.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, okay. Well, some people like that.
I do. I think it's cool.
So Mac Jones, his first incompletion didn't come until there was 8 minutes and 12 seconds left in the second quarter.
Yeah,
that's incredible. I don't care if you're throwing, and granted, a lot of his throws, they were about like 10 yards. A lot of them, like none of them, he didn't throw like a ton of drop offs or anything. They were just kind of 8, 9, 10 yard passes or whatever. I don't care that they're that low in volume of yards or whatever, to complete that many passes in a row and not have an incomplete pass until almost halfway to halftime. That's really good, because people say, oh, that's nothing. Well, if it's so easy, then why doesn't every quarterback do it?
That's my quarterback.
That's my teammate. T.O. Actually, T.O. will not be the problem child receiver that we'll talk about. We'll talk about someone a little bit later. Former Patriots player who.
But when you say stuff like that, it's like there was the Jacoby Myers, the classic, like kind of 7-yard curl, turn around, get the first down yards and stuff like that. But I use it for every analogy in every position in football, whether it's defensive lineman, offensive lineman, whatever, whoever you're going against, they have trained their whole life to stop you in these, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, however long the play is. So even if Mac Jones is constantly throwing 3-yard passes, you still have linebackers that have trained their absolute hardest in that 3 seconds to intercept that pass, to make that tackle, to break that up. You have corners who have trained their life to work on in-breaking routes like that, jump those routes and take them back for touchdowns. And it's not working for him. Mac Jones is coming out on the better end of the stick there. So much respect to the guy. It's like, I don't want to heap too much praise because it's the Jags. And it's like, this is the standard. This is what we expect.
Crazy. Yeah, no, the Jags aren't like a world beaters.
And we shouldn't be coming on here and be like, we beat the fucking Jags. Because like, no, it doesn't matter. It's like, we're the Patriots. Yes, we beat the Jaguars. This is what we expect to happen when we're playing the worst team in the league. If we were the Bills, maybe we'd come on here and be like, wow, like we didn't lose to the Jags this time. Nice. Like, but no, friggin', we're an actually competent team, so we don't need to do that. I just think there is some good things to be said, even when you beat a bad team.
Yeah. No, I mean, there was like, even though they are a bad team, I mean, you score a touchdown on your first 5 drives. I mean, there's really nothing bad to say about that. You did bring up the incompletion that he had dropped a perfect pass to Wilkerson too, and that would have been his 3rd touchdown, which again we're going to talk about him in a second, because I don't think you can take him out of the starting lineup, moving forward.
He's a house. I didn't realize how big
he's a big dude. Yeah, like you don't realize it just because I don't know, maybe like NFL players are standing around a bunch of other NFL players, but no, he's a big dude.
I went to training camp and watched him work out and still didn't realize how big he was until I saw him today catch that touchdown. I'm like, he is towering over those people in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, no, he's a big guy. But Mac Jones, he's doing this, like we said, this is going to be the performances you get from him. I don't think you're going to get, many 300+ yard performances, at least his first like year and a half, 2 years or something like that. Yeah. I did want to ask this about Mac Jones, because this is kind of the thing going on, because Jamar Chase had a big game as well. I think he had like 200 and something yards receiving,
ridiculous.
3 touchdowns or whatever.
I hate him too. That's a shame.
Great game. Do you think, because I was thinking about this too. I don't know where I land yet. I'll probably know after you're done talking, because I haven't formed my opinion yet. Do you think Mac Jones is still a shoe-in, or do you think he's still going to win Rookie of the Year over Jamar Chase?
Jamar Chase's touchdown number is pretty insane, right?
Like, I think so. Yeah. I mean, he had 3 today. So
he had 3. Okay. Cause I remember him having 2. That's pretty nuts. And he had a spectacular, he was supposed to catch it. He was looking at field, kind of bobbled it and then caught it again. We saw a similar play in the Patriots game from the Jaguars player, but I forgot. I don't think he's a lock anymore, which is weird, because I was on the show beating my chest and boasting around like, quarterbacks always get the nod. So I think if I had to put money on a gun to my head, laser beam pointed to earth, somebody's like, who's winning Rookie of the Year? I'm going with the most important position in football. But this dude's playing out of his skull. And for me to say that when I don't like Jamar Chase even slightly, this dude is balling out of control. So 3 touchdowns today, that's crazy. I only saw 2. I stopped watching the game. I fell asleep, but That is absolute madness. Do you have his season numbers? I'm just curious. I think
what I'm pulling up right now because I'm saying
he's got like 15 touchdowns.
Sure. Yeah. So today he had, okay, cool. So I got him here. So today he had 11 catches, 266. That's more. He had more receiving yards than Mac had passing yards.
That's pretty fucked up.
And he had 3 touchdowns today. On the year, he's got 79 catches. It's crazy. He had, he had 79 catches, 1,429 yards, 13 touchdowns. So
damn, even after the 3 that he had today.
Yeah. Well, I guess the last 2 games he didn't have any touchdowns, so I think he kind of made up for it with it. Well, actually,
Mac didn't either. So
the last couple of games against the Broncos, he had Mac Jones is still a shit. Hold on, watch this shit. Hold on. So the last game against the Ravens, he went off 7 for 125, but then he had 1 catch for 3 yards against the Broncos.
Ooh, that's bad.
If you look at his number, he's not okay. So kind of going backwards, 5 for 77 against the Niners, 5 for 52, 3 for 39, 3 for 32, 6 for 49, 3 for 32, 8 for 201 against the Ravens. He loves playing the Ravens.
Dude hates the Ravens.
Against the Packers, he had 6 for 159. Awesome. Solid. Game. But other than that, everything else has been around like 50
they're all middle
yards.
4 for 40, 3 for 62.
Yeah, I didn't know. For some reason, I thought he was going off for like almost 100 every game.
But he just has a lot of touchdowns, though. It seems like he's scoring every week. I drafted him in fantasy and traded him in the preseason when I saw all these drops. I was like, this dude's gonna suck. And then that's basically the reason I hate him. I'm like, this dude couldn't ball out in the preseason. And then, of course, he's the greatest wide receiver in football now. Awesome.
Yeah, I think so. Kind of like you said, I don't think Mac is a shoo-in for it because just really because of this game. I think if it wasn't for this game, I think ridiculous. 266. That's like Julio Jones, like in his prime type numbers. Yeah. Like that's that's
what's
incredible.
The record? Calvin Johnson can't be far ahead of that for the
Calvin Johnson. I think has because I think he. I don't remember exactly.
Goes to the Cowboys, I think, for 301, which makes me sick.
Yeah, he ate against the Cowboys whenever he played them. I remember that. I remember that.
They're the most hateable team for a reason.
Yep, that's why. Yeah, hey, we'll get the Patriots aren't far behind. But yeah, so I don't know. I think that Mac is going to take it just because he is a quarterback. And I know the last 2 games were kind of iffy on him, but I don't know. I think it might come down to what happens next week. If Chase has kind of like a mediocre game and Mac Jones has another game like he did today,
we got a perfect matchup for it. I like it.
Yeah. I think, and we will get to that as well at the end of the podcast. We'll talk about the next game, what it means, all that stuff going forward, kind of what's going on. If the season were to end with how the seeding is right now, who we would be playing, which I salivate against the matchup that we'll have. To talk about that. I can't wait.
Feast on that.
Yeah, no, we will take that team to the zoo. That's what I said.
Easily.
That's what I feed them to the lions. So the best part about that is only me and you will get that joke. So that
everyone's gonna be watching this like these guys.
That joke does nothing for anybody else. So, but anyways,
but I enjoyed it.
I got nothing else to say about Mac. Good game. He really I don't even think he had any real, turnover worthy plays. He looked good in the pocket. He looked good. One thing I want to see the Patriots do more. He kind of rolled out of the pocket a little bit more. I think he actually threw a touchdown to Wilkerson on one of those that he rolled out. I think that's something that he can do. He's not like any speed demon or anything. I mean, we saw he can run here and there. But I think McDaniel's got to kind of move the pocket a little bit more. Obviously it's easier said than done, but it looks like he can handle it. He can throw on the run pretty well, it seems like. I don't know, just a great game by Mac. Like you said, virtuoso type of a performance. I think this is kind of what we should expect, from here on out.
Yes. And it's like, it's tough to heap that praise on a rookie. And like we said, this is the worst team, but if he fills out his potential, these are his baseline games. Like if he is the field general, the precision passer, the leader of our football team that we all truly believe he's going to be, this is a game that I expect from him week in and week out. Big teams, small teams, doesn't matter. This is the baseline. This is where I expected. More yards would be nice. One less touchdown, more yards, give or take. One more touchdown, a little less yards. Doesn't matter to me. It'll hover around this area, and that's what I'll be looking for going forward.
Yeah, well, he probably would have had like 40, 45 more yards if our boy Wilkerson caught the ball. But that is not why I'm bringing him up, and I'm not going to postpone any longer. Kristian Wilkerson needs to play every game over N'Keal Harry. Wilkerson today, 4 for 42, 2 touchdowns. I don't see how you put, which first of all, let's just kind of get out of the way for N'Keal Harry to have his job taken, at least for this week, because he did technically get beat out by Wilkerson by an undraft or by a practice squad guy.
He was a DNP, right? He was a healthy scratch.
Yep. Healthy scratch. Him and Joanne Williams. He was a healthy scratch as well. But yeah, I mean, to me, that says volumes, because all you've heard this year is how, N'Keal Harry, works hard, all this stuff, which I'm sure he does. I mean, good for you. I mean, I feel like you kind of have to work hard if you're in the NFL. But he is elite blocking, but for him to get beat out by Wilkerson, and for Wilkerson to have, because I think I even texted you, N'Keal Harry's season high in catches is 2 per game. Wilkerson had 3 and a touchdown. Before the first half was over. I was very pleasantly surprised by Wilkerson this game.
This is it, man. Hammer it in. This is the nail in the coffin for N'Keal Harry's Patriots career. It's over. He's gone. Yep. We gave him every opportunity in the book. In his rookie year, give him the keys. You're the starting wide receiver. You got Brady. We could make something here. Nope, couldn't happen. Hey, maybe with Cam, develop a new rapport with a quarterback that you seem to get along with. Cam loved him. I would imagine he loved Cam. He's a very likable guy. I love Cam. Mm-hmm. And then we draft a quarterback in the first round. We have a whole new slate, starting from scratch. N'Keal, build rapport with our future. Let's see if you can do it here. It's like, we'll put you in a limited role. If you just want to catch jump balls, if you just want to work in space, because that's what you're good at, we'll give you minimal catches, but let's see if you can be effective there. Couldn't do it. COVID comes sweeping through, and then Nelson Aguilar basically gets decapitated midfield, and he's been out a couple games. So we forced N'Keal into the starting lineup. This is your time. You're our first-round pick. If you have any semblance of NFL talent, if you can be on this team, this is where you prove it. This is where you show up. And he did nothing, and he truly, truly was a huge fault in last game. He was awful last game. That we talked about it last show, but that bobble that ended up going up and getting picked.
Oh my God.
One of the worst football plays I've ever seen.
Worse.
We gave him every opportunity in the book. It's like it's the same thing. You're employing somebody. I'm trying to get you on the field. I'm trying to get you to participate in the workplace. We invested in you. We care about you. We want you to do well for this franchise. Every opportunity in the book. And he just slams that book shut. Can't do it. Didn't work. Cut ties with N'Keal Harry. I'm glad he was a healthy scratch, and I'm happy for Wilkerson. He got beat out. A first-round pick out of Arizona State. Prestigious Arizona State. Gets beat out by a practice squad guy. No disrespect to Wilkerson.
No, none at all. Nope.
God, N'Keal, dude, how are you this bad? I don't even want to say it's his ability, because he seems so athletic. It seems like he would be a great wide receiver.
It's up here. It's in his head.
Yes, it's so strange. I don't understand it all. I feel terrible for N'Keal, but I also hate him, so I don't care. No, I'm happy. I'm happy for Wilkerson. It's just sad, man. When the Patriots take a wide receiver in the first round, you get hyped. It's go time. We needed weapons so bad. We're like, yes, we finally got one. Sure enough, we took him over. AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, who had 3 touchdowns today. All these other guys, we could have taken other skill positions. Yes, let alone wide receivers. We could have taken great offensive linemen. Nick Chubb was taken after. We could have taken so many other players. And we went with N'Keal Harry. We really tried, and we failed. And N'Keal failed. N'Keal failed hard.
He did. I mean, and like you said, I think the main I don't even think that the drop on the comeback route was the end of it for Belichick because drops happen. No one's gonna. I mean, Edelman. People forget Edelman dropped the ball a shit ton in his career here,
but that was high volume. Edelman and Welker had so many drops, and everyone's like, "Look at their drops." It's like, look at their targets. They're being thrown to significantly higher than most people in the league. Just about everyone. Yeah. Welker was always at the top of the receptions list.
Welker. People don't give Belichick enough credit. And that's a funny thing to say because people give Belichick credit, but he kind of not created, but he revolutionized the slot receiver position with Wes Welker when he had
revolutionized so many positions. The receiving back still uses fullbacks and will not give up. I love it, Bill. And the slot wide receiver. I almost said slot corner. The slot wide receiver. There's every offense you can look at for the Patriots. We got Wes Welker, Richey Caldwell, who kind of originally did it but wasn't that good. Wes Welker. We had Danny Amendola for a little bit. We signed Austin Collie for like 3 games. Like Bill just always needs us. Then new era. We move on to Jacoby Myers, who killed it today too. So it's like always.
Jacoby Myers, props to him, by the way. And I still want to touch a little bit on Harry and Wilkerson, but Jacoby Myers, by the way, set a career high in yards. I think he's almost at 800 yards right now. He got another touchdown. I don't think there's a player that I'll be more happy for scoring a touchdown than Jacoby Myers when he scores. Because the dude,
it's like a charity case. Like he scores, you're like, yes. But then
I know.
I've never seen somebody catch the ball so many times, but not in the end zone.
No, and he had a great game too. What was he? He was 8 for 73. I mean, he's kind of becoming, not becoming. He's been the guy, but he's kind of like the go-to guy, not necessarily on third downs or anything, but he's just kind of, he reminds me of Edelman in the sense that it seems like he's starting to always find the right spot in the defense to kind of like, turn around.
Slot receiver position. It's always a safety blanket. Like if the deep routes aren't open, you got a slot guy who's always running some sort of choice route in between them. He's always, it's not a hard throw to make realistically. Like he's usually within 15 yards of the line of scrimmage. He's hovering around the first down markers, trying to make guys miss. Those in tight ends are the guys that quarterbacks rely on. And it's so funny. Like those players that we just named out there, you can just kind of pull them and separate them apart because they're not like other wide receivers. They are our slot receivers. They're not going deep too often. If they are, it's out of the slot. It's kind of like a weird wheel route type thing. Yeah. These are those guys. They're in a specific group of their own, a subcategory of wide receivers. Jacoby Myers is that new guy for us. I'm interested to see, in a couple of years, who comes after Jacoby Myers. This is going to be a constant forever and ever and ever. Other teams are going to adopt this too. Cole Beasley is reaping that reward.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Cole Beasley if anybody other than the Patriots have benefited more from the slot receiver position, it's been Cole Beasley. But yeah, no, Jacoby Myers, he's doing his thing. I can't wait to see him progress even more. Then, like you said, we see the next guy come in, kind of like you saw with Edelman and Welker. I think that's going to be crazy. I love the fact that did you hear why Jacoby Myers came to the Patriots or why he decided to kind of go there? No. He went undrafted, Brady? Obviously. Yeah. No, not even close, actually. Actually, the opposite. N'Keal Harry. So he kind of looked around to see who was kind of reaching out to him. He looked to see who took a wide receiver and when they took him. The Patriots took a wide receiver, the highest out of anybody that wanted him. He came to the Patriots because he wanted to prove that he could be better than a first-round draft pick, than a first-round wide receiver.
Chills, literal
fucking
chills.
Love him.
That got me going.
Love him.
That's drive right there. Like talk about cocky. He's looking at depth charts. He's looking at his emails. All right, who wants to hire me? He's like, all right, well, the Chargers have this guy, and this guy. They drafted him as a third-round pick. He's like, I'm definitely better than that. What else can we do? Oh, the Patriots took a guy. 22. I could have definitely got taken before 22. That I can do that. Yeah, let's go to the Patriots. Let's see what we can do there. Yep. And now it's no comparison. Head and shoulders. Like you would need 2 full rosters of N'Keal Harry to equal the production of Jacoby Myers. Like I would need 106 N'Keal Harrys to equal Jacoby Myers production. He hasn't even scored that much.
No, it's like not at all. I think like statistically, you probably wouldn't need that many N'Keal Harrys to even to match.
Close. I mean, look at he's catching like career high or season high 2 catches. Jacoby Myers catches like 5 every game.
Jacoby Myers catches 2 passes in the same drive. Like what are we even doing here?
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers, love him. I do. Wilkerson, though, our boy had 2 touchdowns today. Could have had 3.
Yep.
Could have had 3.
Yep,
Upon further review, he did drop that one. Defender did not hit it at all. Nothing like that. But again, I mean, I'm not gonna shit on the guy, first of all, because the game was well in hand at that point. But also, I mean, this is kind of his first real playing time.
Yeah.
I mean, and he had a good game before. Yeah, I mean, he had a good game up until that point. He had a good game after, I think, too. I think he still had like a catch or 2.
Yeah,
after
we're
that.
nitpicking.
So,
it's like, oh my God, he didn't have 3 touchdowns. He only had 2. God,
that's all we can do right now is nitpick, because they put up 50 points against the Jaguars, which again, I hear people say, or I saw it already from all the people, all your Boston reporters and stuff like that, kind of like, hey, yeah, this is a great performance, but let's not act like, the Pats are beating the 85 Bears or anything. It's like, okay, that's funny. If you want to shit on this win, say the Jags are just the Jags. The Jags beat the Bills a few weeks ago. So either a win is not just a win, or, either the Jags aren't just the Jags or the Bills suck. Yes. Like, I think that this is a good win. Like, I don't know why people want to shit on it. I mean, like, granted, should the Patriots have won? Of course. But the fact that they're shit whipping these teams, like they put up 55 or 50 whatever points against the Jets that game. Like, this is what good teams do to teams they're supposed to beat. They make it unquestioned. They beat the shit out of you. This is what they do. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, 50 point, whatever. Do you see people say the Patriots are running up the score, by the way?
Yeah. Oh, and good. They should. Bill's always been about that. Run it up. It is your job to stop us. 4 quarters. If we are 80 piecing you in the third, well, fuck, you better stop us from getting 100 then, because this is your job, and you should be pissed that you let us get this much. So there's no competition in the league anymore. People want respect and all that stuff. Fuck your respect. Stop us from scoring. It's your job. People don't get rewarded for not doing their job.
No, and it's not like the Patriots. Because I wrote this down because I was shocked. Patriots' first punt came with 5 minutes left in the third. Yeah. So it's just stop them. You didn't stop them all game. Like, I'm sorry, Belichick isn't the type that's going to sit there. Like, kind of, I was watching. I was like, I wonder if they're going to take Mac out, after halftime, one drive or something like that. And I was like, no, it doesn't make sense, because that's not the message that Belichick sent. It's not the whole like, good job, Rook. Take a seat. We're going to take you out, but yet we're going to keep everybody else in. Like, no, that's not how it is. I'm sure Mac Jones didn't want to come out either. So it's just one of those things where it's like you have to stop. Like, we get paid too. Our job is to score. Your job is to stop us. If you can't do it, I'm sorry. I don't have time to deal with you learning how to play football. Yeah. I have a job to do. Like,
when did this become like a charity fundraising game where it's like, oh, all right, we're just about fun here? No, this isn't about fun. As much as that people are like, I want both teams to have fun. No, screw you. There needs to be a winner. People need to be held accountable for what they're doing.
Yes. And this was embarrassing. And the one person, it's always funny. We start with Mac Jones and then we just kind of go all over the place. So there's no structure to anything. So I'm going to real quick.
We just spit.
I do have to issue an apology to Trevor Lawrence. There's a reason. Now, I am not, as you know, I'm not a big college sports fan, so I have no college allegiances to him or anything. So I had no bias or anything when he came in. I just thought that he was going to be overrated, because all I saw were people saying, oh, he's really good. He's really good. Well, why? Oh, he's just really good. That no one was given like exact things or anything. Watching this game, Trevor Lawrence might not be this generational guy you're saying, but he deserves better than this team.
I don't think so.
The Jaguars, shut up. The Jaguars offense, I felt bad for him at one point because he's trying to read coverages and throw a ball, and you got receivers not running, you got them not catching. Well, not catching, they caught for the most part, but just not running the right routes. All this stuff. There was one
Marvin Jones. I don't want to hear excuses.
He was trying to get his offense back into the huddle, and they were like bebopping around or something. And I don't know. I felt a little bad for him. Again, I don't wish him success. Like, I still think he's overrated, and I don't think he's going to be. I mean, I think kind of as we stand right now, Mac Jones is the best quarterback taken in the draft class.
Yep.
Last year. So it's not, to me, it's not even close. You got him. You got Trey Lance, who hasn't really seen the field.
Yeah, Justin Trey Lance today, he did okay, marginally good. Justin Fields is like, he's
Justin
fine.
Fields
he's
is
athletic. He's fun to watch, but like he's not going to win you any football games.
To me, I think Justin Fields is going to be a poor man's Kyler Murray. That's what I
like
think.
that. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think that. And then I think who is it? Zach Wilson. He's on the Jets, so I don't care. He could be Joe Montana. It wouldn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with him over there. But yeah, Mac Jones is the best quarterback taken in the draft. I just wanted to say though, Trevor Lawrence, I'm sorry I talked all that shit about you. I'm still gonna talk shit, but just know I have a little bit more respect for you because your team is not helping you out at all in my eyes.
And I am not going to apologize because I don't think Trevor Lawrence is good. I didn't think he was good at Clemson. I hate Clemson. I hate their old quarterback. I hate his hair. I hate everything about him. I hate the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't like his face. His face is weird. He looks like an Easter Island head. I don't know if you're familiar with those. The big, giant
very long kind of face.
The nose is strange. Like I don't know.
Horse looking ass.
Yeah, like I don't think that's his nose. I don't
looks
know.
Like Jar Jar Binks. It's like, buddy, what are you doing? You're rich now. Get facial reconstruction. Normally, I'm not one for plastic surgery, but you got to do something about that, buddy, because you are freaky looking. Somebody sees you in a dark alley, they're gonna think you're gonna eat them alive.
Yeah. He looks like someone's gonna open his mouth. It's just gonna keep opening.
Like his jaw just unhinges like a snake at Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah. Just scarfs down the whole turkey type deal. Like I would never
turkey. Yep. And then he's like, oh, okay, with his weird nose.
My buddy went to Clemson. He's friends with Trevor Lawrence. He was like, come down to Hilton Head and party with all of us. Like Trevor Lawrence is gonna be there. I was like, no. If I did, I would cause a huge scene, say very rude things to him, and I'd probably get kicked out or get beat up.
Shit, I wish we knew each other then. I would have been like, let's go. Suit up and boot up. Let's go down there and talk all the shit in the world.
Let's go. Then after a while, you'd be like, yeah, I mean, I get it. You're on the Jags. And I'd still be like, fuck you, fuck them.
Yeah. No, I would probably be the one, which I feel like in any given situation, one of us would be the ones that would have the level head and the other one wouldn't. I think in this situation, this would be me. I would be like, we're good.
It's never.
And then you'd come over the top. Fuck you, Trevor Lawrence. And I'd be like, we got to fight.
Horse looking ass. You're like,
we got to fight. So I guess so. I guess that's how it goes. But yeah, I don't think kind of just to put a stamp of approval on Wilkerson. If Harry starts again over Wilkerson, I am going to write a stern letter to Bill Belichick because I think that is gross negligence of the franchise. He deserves to be put in jail if that happens.
I couldn't imagine an alternate reality. Neil deGrasse Tyson goes off on the infinite realities theory, and there's multiple different dimensions with different scenarios.
Yep.
I don't think there's any scenario where N'Keal Harry in the ultimate infinite, which means there's unlimited amount of other possibilities. Not one of those unlimited possibilities has N'Keal Harry on the Patriots next year.
Oh no, God no! I think next year is what, doesn't he have like a team option for next year or something like that? He's not coming back at all. I think, or it's something like that. Actually, you know what? I don't give a shit enough about his contract to care. We've talked far too much about N'Keal Harry. I don't care about him. I don't think. What do I have for the offense? Oh, did you hear? Brandon Bolden had cancer.
No.
Oh, dude! And so in 2018, I guess he had some form of skin cancer. He had it operated on or whatever. He couldn't feel one side of his face. He posted over the weekend. The timeline's weird because I saw people saying different things. So I don't know if like he still had it this year, what was going on, but I know he posted this year. He basically said that he's cancer free officially.
Wow.
So, just more applauding for Brandon Bolden, who, by the way, I heard this stat on the game that they were talking about. They said that Brandon Bolden is third in the league right now with yards after catch with 10. Yeah, with like 10 point something. I don't know if it might be for running backs. I think that's what it is. It can't be everybody. No. But still, Brandon Bolden, who would have thought?
It's that next man up thing, just like Kristian Wilkerson.
Dude, I'm still not convinced if it's Wilkerson or Wilkinson.
I said it right earlier. Of course, I screwed it up, or I got it right earlier. I screwed it up now, but same thing. Practice squad guy. Our first round pick's not getting it done. We need you to come up here. We need you to catch 2 touchdowns, potentially 3. All right, I got it. And then it's like, hey, Sweet Beat, goes down. Tragic. I'm still not over it. Yep. I basically cry myself to sleep every night without Sweet Beat, but that's fine. So it's like, hey, who's gonna catch all the passes out of the backfield? We've had Brandon Bolden on the roster for, 9+ years or so, give or take. So
yeah,
bring that guy in. Hey, do you mind catching 3 or 4 balls a game? Just do what you got to do. We'll get you a couple of touchdowns. He's like, yeah, by all means, I'll do it.
Yeah. And he's filled in swimmingly. He's done very well, even on the runs too. I know everybody shits on his third down runs, and I'm kind of one of them. I shit on him a little bit too, but that's more McDaniels.
It's a play call though. Yeah, like what is he?
Yeah, like
do you expect him to break 9 tackles when it's 3rd and 11 and we run the ball? Like, come on.
No, I don't expect him to break tackles anyway. So when he does, like, I get excited, and that's not anything bad to him. I don't think that's what he does, which is fine. But yeah, other than that, the only other thing I have on the passing game, I think I don't know about you. It seems like every time the Patriots run the jet sweep with Kendrick Bourne, it works. Every single time. Every time.
They'll run it twice in a game and then disguise it. So like the first one, they do a basic end around, no trickery. Second time, handoff right to the running back. So the whole defense is shifting right to fall. I think it was Brandon Bolden. And he was kind of over the shoulder. And damn, Bourne's coming around the other way and got more yards than he did the first time. Just genius. They're thinking ahead here. You're always disguising everything.
Yeah, no, you can't. That was one of the things I was looking for the last couple of weeks. I was like, why? Like, where? And I know that Bourne, I know he was kind of nicked up. I know he was coming back from, being hurt, the COVID and all that stuff. But it's like where were these? You kind of see how important those are, because it seems like every one he's ripping off at least 5 or 6 yards, which, if that's first down, you get a 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5. That's awesome. As opposed to 2nd and 9. If you just try to, run, whatever, right up the middle, or 2nd and 10 and complete or something. No, jet sweeps. You got to do it. Kendrick Bourne, by the way, where the hell is he? 5 for 76. Love him. He has taken
2 rushes, 17 yards. Give me that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I can't wait till Aguilar finally comes back, because now I think if you got Bourne, Myers, and Aguilar with Wilkerson coming in and out as well from the receiver position, I think you're set up and good to go.
Yeah.
And then especially with the tight ends, who, by the way, Jonnu Smith, 1 catch for 20 yards, Hunter Henry, 3 for 37. I mean, this is kind of what we've come to expect from them. I think that Jonnu Smith, everything that I'm
still waiting for this Jonnu Smith game. I know it's on the horizon. I know it's coming.
It's gonna come. I don't know when, but I think the reason it's taken a little while, and I'm not as alarmed, because I think like he's the player where it's going to take maybe a year for him to finally get in, because you hear McDaniels talking about it, saying that like he's working and all that stuff. I think it's just, it just takes time for some players, I think.
See, I think he's more than capable. I think he could have that right now. I just don't know if other defenses are maybe allowing that, or it's in the game plan even, really, where they're like, all right, we're going to work heavy on the backup tight end here. Like, this team covers tight ends really hard, especially Hunter Henry going on all those tears. I figured defenses would focus so much on him, it would get Jonnu open. I think it's coming. I think it's most likely going to be a playoff game. I said that a while back. He's just going to blow up. He's going to get big volume. He's going to get, I think it's a 2-touchdown game for him coming up. Like, there is going to be that time where, definitely, Kendrick Bourne's doing well. Nelly, don't even get me started. He's more than capable.
Nelly's doing well before he died, before he got his head knocked off.
Yeah. So, and we'll see how he is when he came back. I was looking at a video of a chicken who lived 3 years after getting its head cut off. So I think Nick Eel's got Nelly's got at least 3 years, and then
he 3 games good. At least.
At least. So I think he's got that in him. I just think there is going to be a time and a place for him to come in and ball out. He was a starting player on the Titans, had almost the most touchdowns. I think he was 3rd for tight ends, or 3rd in general for touchdowns. Last year, he caught like 8 touchdowns or something. He's a red zone guy. They're just not using him, and that's annoying, but it's also fine if we're 50-piecing teams. It's like, all right, well, if we're blowing most teams out, like we killed the Browns, we killed the Jets, we killed the Jags, we're killing a lot of teams. And if he's not getting involved when it's like, whatever, sacrifice, we got the win. Like, he's just, taking a role player role right now. But I think he's more than capable. He's a starting tight end. We signed him big money for a reason. He was rated the 2nd best tight end.
First or second? Yeah. I think he was 2nd in Hunter Henry first, I think. Yeah.
It's hard to really garner who's better. Even after this year, seeing Hunter Henry go off, like, I'm still not convinced that Hunter Henry's better. I think he's just being used more.
Just different. I think they're just different, because you see Jonnu Smith, it looks like everything that kind of I've like seen people break down after the games and stuff. It seems like they're putting Jonnu Smith in more to block. And I mean, you can't argue with how it's been, because obviously like he's good at blocking. And I think it's just one of those things, like you said, it's just the game plan. Like, it's just like, when they call plays for him, they call plays. McDaniel said they got to get him the ball more. So at least, he verbalized that he knows what he's got to do.
Oh, but, it's an abundance of riches. They recognize it. They know the money they spent. If it comes down to money, people know how much money they spent on guys. They know the contract that Jonnu Smith has and the production that he's giving you for that money. It's not living up to the money deal. He's not, balling out to the tune of however much money he got, because I know it was a pretty big deal. But we got him on lock and key. We got him on reserve. If we need him to go off, I truly believe it wouldn't be a problem for him.
No, not at all. Like I think if Hunter Henry goes down, I see no reason that Smith can't just step in and kind of,
And Hunter Henry's had injury concerns in his career, so that makes me feel so much better.
Yep, he did in the preseason. He was hurt a little bit. So so I'm not, again, like I'm not one of the fans, and I don't. It seems like you aren't. Well, not seems like, I know you aren't either. I'm not going to freak out over not a lot of production or not this and that, because I think we understand how the Patriots offense works. It's just, any game someone's going to go off, any game someone's going to not go off. I mean, you had Mac Jones pass the ball 3 times a couple weeks ago, and now he threw, for 230, 3 touchdowns and 22 completions. Like, it just, I don't know. It just is what it is. Receiving, that's their own thing, but running though, Stevenson, our boy, 19 rushes, $107, 107, 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns
in Jacksonville.
It didn't stop by. And Damien Harris too. Damien Harris started the game 9 for 35, 2 touchdowns. They took him out, something with his hamstring, which I'm fine. I mean, at that point, take him out. Don't try to do the hamstring anymore. He already scored 2 touchdowns. Put in Stevenson.
It's a terrible nagging injury too.
Exactly. So I'd rather have him healthy for the playoff run. But yeah, Stevenson, the more I see him run, it's almost not even fair that we have Harris and Stevenson back there.
It's the same thing with Smith and Henry. It's like, if Smith goes down, we still have a top caliber option.
Exactly.
If Henry goes down, we have a top option in Smith. If, Damien Harris goes down, we have another guy who can still get us 2 touchdowns in a game, who can still bruise for first downs. And just like Damien Harris, who doesn't do it often, Ramondre can occasionally catch passes out of the backfield. He's got more than capable hands. He checks all the boxes, fits the criteria. He is a starting caliber running back. And Damien Harris, they said he had, 15 touchdowns this year or something ridiculous like that?
I think right now he's got 14. He is
14.
He's got 14, and Jonathan Taylor has 17. So I think Damien Harris just tied Curtis Martin for the second most in Patriots history. He's got
Curtis Martin.
He has to get 4 more touchdowns to Tyler Garrett Blunt, which isn't going to happen.
No.
But I mean, Blunt just went off that. A lot of Blunt's touchdowns that year were more of your 3 or 4 yard runs at the goal line. I'm not taking anything away from it. That's just what it was. But except
for when he plays the Colts, then it's, a 60-yard run plowing through the line.
Well,
he's like, I'll get a kick return too. Let's try that. I bet I could do this.
I mean, that's what happens when you have deflated footballs, apparently.
Yeah, it is. It equally makes all the players better. Just, they're more athletic, they run faster, they can jump higher.
Science.
The quarterbacks throw with more precision if the football's deflated. Clearly we had an advantage there.
It's been proven. It's been proven. So I mean, we know Brady got suspended for it. So obviously it's real.
We're cheaters, because we are the cheaters, and I get it. We should be punished for our heinous acts.
We should be punished. We should be. I think that punishment was, I don't know if maybe the league thought that they were punishing us by letting us get Mac Jones. Maybe people thought that it was one of those things we're going to give him, the little frumpy white dude.
All the good quarterbacks are going early. It's fine. I'm not worried about Justin Fields. I'm not worried about, he's the one that's really going to ball out. And Trey Lance. They're going to take Trey Lance at 3. That guy's going to be a baller.
Trey Lance, didn't he only play 6 college games, or not even? It was something like that. I don't know.
One
that came
season
out of nowhere. Hit the whole love for Trey Lance. But yeah, I don't, the Stevenson Harris thing, love it. I love that they're both here. You interchange them, whatever you want to do. I these games are almost boring to talk about on offense, because I don't nothing. I have nothing bad to say about the offense. I mean,
there's really, like you said, you were reaching for a nitpick to say he could have caught a 3rd touchdown.
Yeah.
Wilkerson could have got 3. God damn it, he only got 2. Like, that's our criticism.
Bench him. Like, I don't know. Like,
Bench him.
I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, offense, great. Defense obviously put up a lot too. They gave up the touchdown at the end, which, I mean,
disappointing.
Whatever. Yeah. It kind of sucked. It was a little screen pass they took for like 20 yards or something.
Would have liked to shut out, but that's fine. Hey, we don't want to run up the score. Come on. Where's your sportsmanship? Where's your sportsmanship, Mike? Come on.
Belichick probably let them score, so then he'd have an excuse to go down and score again. So he's like, no, I can't let it get close. I can't let it get close. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
He's like, oh, they scored. I guess we have to score 2 more.
Yeah, no. We have to have a nice, comfortable 40-point lead. So one thing I saw that was kind of alarming on defense, Judon didn't play until when did he have his first? Yeah, he played his first snap with just over 3 minutes left in the second quarter. So I don't know. I know that he didn't practice all week because of the COVID thing. But that, I don't know, that was just something that I noticed. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like an injury or anything like that. Just kind of an observation about it. But obviously it didn't matter that much because you had Winovich play more, Winovich, I completely forgot he was on the team. If we're going to be honest.
He's another one. He's gone. He's out.
Yeah. I guess, which is wild to me. In the last 3 games, he played a total of 0 defensive snaps. I don't know what he did, because last year it seemed like he was going to kind of emerge as that like Rob Ninkovich, who, by the way, that's the shirt I have.
I was about to say, I wanted to comment on him. I was trying to find
Rob
the right
Ninkovich.
time. Love the shirt. Love the shirt.
I thought that Winovich was going to be the next Ninkovich, kind of, the kind of, cult following. Everybody in New England likes him. Doesn't necessarily put up crazy numbers, but he just makes big plays. But I think he's gone at the end of the year. Winovich.
I do too.
I don't think there's any way that he stays, especially with all the young linebackers coming up. And I'm sure Belichick's going to draft more, next year, or sign some or something.
I want to know what he did though. Like, it must have been like Gilbert Arenas level bad, like bringing a gun to the locker room. Like, he all of a sudden went from our main pass rusher, and everyone was like, this guy's all right. We locked up the defensive end position. This guy can get sacks. We're like, we're good. Let's look to other positions. And then
gone. And then fell off the face of the earth. I know he was injured all preseason, so I know he didn't practice at all during the preseason. So like I don't know if that set him back. Yeah, like that must have either like physically it did set him back, or just kind of in the eyes of Belichick. Again, I don't know how he got hurt either. Like, I'm sure it's out there. So I'm sure there was nothing crazy about it, but I don't know. I do know that last season though, he was kind of not playing his gaps or his assignments and stuff. So maybe just that combined with the injury, and Belichick likes the other guys. I mean, Belichick is a cold-hearted bitch when he wants to.
He is. So, and if you're going to not do your assignment, be damn good at it, because Troy Polamalu used to guess a majority of the time, but he would guess right
every time. I mean, Jamie Collins, case in point, he's on the team. He's very good at what he does. Now, again, Jamie Collins has done a lot better at not improvising, but when he does, he makes the right play.
Yes.
You can't, if you're going to do that, like you said, you brought up Troy Polamalu. I remember him jumping over the center.
Yeah,
he would time the
that was a completely on. I've seen the interviews. He's like, this is a completely on the spot thing. Like, I was supposed to, be looking for a fake kick, and then he's like, I was watching film. I saw when they lined up this way, like, they're definitely not faking it. I know that I can get over the line here. It's like,
that's crazy. I used to love watching him do that, but
he's madness.
But yeah, so it's just one of those things. I think Winovich is gone, and it sucks to say, but I feel like I'm not going to miss him. I don't think the defense is going to miss him. Yeah. He hasn't played that much, and the defense has been doing fine. So I don't know.
He's not missed for sure. A customer came into my work today with a Winovich jersey on. I was like, that's going to be useless in here. He's like, it'll be cool to like remember like when he was good. I'm like, yeah, for like the one season, and then he completely got blackballed.
Yeah, for like 12 games he was good. I don't know. Whatever. You know who is still good, by the way? Dante Hightower. Dante.
Thank you.
Brick shit house Hightower.
Because all I hear is Dante's washed. He doesn't have it anymore. He's not good. He's not an impact player. I don't hear Dante Hightower's name come Sunday at 1.
Where did that come from? Where did all that shit come from? Was it because
it's building? Was it because he just keep saying this shit?
Just because he opted out last year, or like I think people just forgot. I feel like every time Dante Hightower makes a play, he should be like, "Oh, sorry, I had to remind you people who the fuck I am."
You should get up and point to his name on the back of the jersey like this.
Yeah,
this is
like
who
I
made
think
this play.
You guys have forgotten how good and explosive I am. He was, I think it was one play in particular, not the sack, which he did on the first drive. He had a sack. Awesome. Blitzed the gap, came in, got him, threw him down. It was awesome. But he had a play where the Jags, I think it was a screen or a dump off or something. And the guy that was trying to block Hightower just threw him to the ground.
Yeah.
Threw him to the ground. Like there's no, that's why I think to start the year, people kept asking him in the press conferences, something like, how you feel and all this stuff. And he's like, I don't know why you guys keep asking me this. Like, I'm here. I don't know. Because I know there were the rumors of him retiring.
I thought he was going to retire too.
Season.
I was going to be so depressed.
Yeah, me too. Because we're coming up on it. I think in the next year or two, where you're going to have players like Slater, McCourty, Hightower retiring. I think
it's still early for Hightower, though. I could see McCourty doing it.
I think so too. I think
Slater is lasted long beyond I thought he would.
Slater's open about it though. He's just like, I think about it, but I'm not thinking about it now. I don't know. I think he is very. I think he'll know when to go. Slater strikes me as the type of guy who's very cerebral. Like he knows, he'll know when it's time. Almost like a dog. Like when they know it's time. So yeah. I think
he won't be able to get downfield as fast. He'll miss on a couple tackles. And it'll be that moment where he's just on the field and he's like, that's shit. It. He's like, I'm no longer of use to this team. Mm-hmm. And that's the ultimate respect thing. If you can't do the job, I gotta retire.
Yeah. Yeah, which and I guarantee you, nobody, if they do, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Nobody will say anything to him if he does. If he's just like, this is it. I gotta go. It's like, okay, yeah, I believe you. I think you know you better than I know you. I think this is time then.
Because he's played at such a high level for so long at a position that no one gives a shit about. Like
no gunner. Who cares about the gunner on punt return? Yeah. On punt, like what?
He made a Hall of Fame career out of a position that most people are just playing so they can get onto an offense.
Yep. No, not him though. Him and his dad, they're both going to go into the Hall of Fame. Yeah. I think his dad is up this year not up this year, but I think his dad is a finalist, or I forget. I saw something. Yeah. I don't know if it was right, but his dad should be in the Hall of Fame. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, But like I was saying, McCourty, I think McCourty probably has a couple years in him.
I've been saying that, but it seems like he leans more toward retirement. Did his brother retire?
No, his brother got where the hell did his brother got traded to the Titans? Not the Titans. I forget where he got traded to, because I know he came from the Browns. The Falcons. It was a team that we played this year.
He's on the Dolphins.
The Dolphins. Oh yeah. I forgot
because he had a pick on Mac.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. It's like, Miami is just like the Patriots 2.0. Yeah. So he's down there. McCourty. You're right. He has been talking about it. I feel like we've been saying for a couple of years now. I think that this or next year might be his last year. Hightower, I think, has a couple more years in him because he did take the year off for COVID. So I feel like you got to kind of add that on to the end of it. To the end of it. But yeah, Hightower though, kicked ass, amazing. One thing which kind of surprised me that I think I texted you, Christian Barmore had a sack today. That was his first full sack as a Patriot.
Which is weird.
Which is very weird because
he's the polar opposite of Hightower, where you hear his name all the time on Sundays. So when I heard that this was his first sack, I was like, why was I hearing his name so much? And obviously you impact the game in other ways, and we've talked about it. Yeah, he has. But I feel like every Patriots game, this Christian Barmore guy from Alabama, he's really something. You look at him all over the field. And then it's like crickets when it comes to Hightower. Which, hey, no offense, if I'm grading positions by importance, I'm taking middle linebacker over defensive tackle 10 times out of 10 and twice on Sundays. That's the quarterback of the defense. So I just think this is all like media portrayal. They're just not giving as much love to one guy and giving more love to the other, and that's fine because they're both more than capable, stellar players. But it was weird to me to hear that he got his first career sack.
Yeah, it was very weird. And I think that's kind of a testament to how good he's been. Like, you do hear his name a lot, and it's because he is beaten through. I mean, to get his sack, he beat a double team. So, I mean, he's always around in the play. It's always like him, Judon. Dietrich Wise, by the way, has been doing very well. He was signed to a 4-year extension this offseason, I believe. Kind of went under the radar. I mean, rightly so, with the cluster shitstorm that, Belichick signed. But Dietrich Wise has been very solid this year. It seems like I hear his name once a game or so. He's always doing something. I think did he have a sack today?
No, he just had an assisted tackle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he did his things. Yeah, you had Barmore and Hightower for the sacks. As I'm looking at it, by the way, 3 turnovers, 3 picks this game. You had Mr. INT,
of course,
his pick, Jason
checking
Jackson.
in.
And I think
he needed that after the last game.
That's what I was gonna say. You texted me. You were like, redemption for everybody. Like,
true,
because you had him. You had, I'm gonna save the best for last. You had him. You had Kyle Duggar, who I mean, Kyle Duggar again, redemption game for him, kind of too, because he was the one who got carried on friggin' what's his name, Singletary's back for like 7 yards. So he came up, and then you had I think our maybe season MVP, kind of under the radar, Miles Bryant.
Damn right.
With a pick. And Miles Bryant, by the way, just watching him, the whole defense looked rejuvenated. And again, I think we both said that this was going to be one of those get right games, which it was. You heard it on the broadcast. You heard people talking about it. It was. But yeah, Miles Bryant, though, this defense, if you didn't know how poorly they've played the last 2 games, you would think they haven't skipped a beat since the bye week.
Oh,
you would
100%.
think that it's been everything from Jalen Mills, by the way, showing up, breaking up passes, all this stuff. I know people have been worried about him.
That was my criticism of him.
Yeah, that was because when he came back from the injury, remember we joked it was going to be like 6-7 weeks where it's like, well, he's still coming back from the injury. All right,
yeah,
calm down. All right, listen, he had a sprained ankle.
3 seasons from now, we're like, do you remember when he got hurt?
Have you ever twisted your ankle? 3 years minimum. So before you start talking all this shit about him, but yeah, no, everybody had a good game. Adrian Phillips, who, by the way, got the bag this weekend.
He did. Much congrats. Little golf clap for Adrian Phillips.
Yes, golf clap for him.
We talked about that. That was big time. Absolutely big time. We both think, even though we got Duggar and he's more than capable, I love what I've seen. He's a tackling machine. This guy's a ball hawk and he can tackle. He is a well-rounded, very low-key name. Like, other teams aren't paying attention to Adrian Phillips. Other fan bases aren't like, we need us an Adrian Phillips. No, I don't think those words have ever been said, ever, actually, besides me saying that. But he's just one of those guys for the Patriots where it's, you do your job, you do it well, we're going to keep you around. He's been my surprise because I wasn't very favorable on him going into the season. I was like, who is this guy? I want more minutes from McCourty and Duggar. I don't really care about this guy. What is he even going to do? And then they started using him as an extra linebacker, and then they pulled Duggar down and put him deep, and they'll kind of switch it around because both of them can tackle. It's very interchangeable, and there's so many faces to this defense. Now I see they can get 3 safeties on the field and use all 3 of these safeties to their maximum capacity and capability. And it is absolutely insane to me. I've never seen a defense like this.
That's what I wanted to ask. So assuming that McCourty kind of, bites the dust and,
walks off into the sunset.
Yeah. Could Phillips and Duggar be their 2 starting safeties, you think? Because I think they both kind of play strong.
That's
safety,
the problem. Yeah.
I think so. I don't know if
I wouldn't imagine he wouldn't be able to, though, because
I'm sure
I always thought Phillips was a free safety anyway.
Yeah, right. But I think just because of how the defense is constructed, he's been playing more of your hybrid thing. So I feel like you could still put him back there. He's smart enough, obviously. He seems to know what's going on. He gets the defense. Yep. I think you could start both of them. And then, because I think Phillips signed a 3-year deal. Duggar's still on his rookie deal. So I think you could have both of them go and just kind of ride that out for 3 years at least for Phillips contract, and then kind of keep doing the thing where you get another safety, and just keep rocking it there. But
that's exactly what I was thinking too. Maybe take one in the draft and kind of use him and Duggar as the linebackers and keep Phillips monitoring the deep middle.
Or do you think Miles Bryant gets a bigger role moving forward? I don't know if he would play because right now he's playing he's playing more of like your slot corner kind of.
Yeah, I want to get a snap count on how many snaps he's playing a game.
Yeah, I don't. Shit. I'll be. Let me see if I can find it. But anyway, though, it seems like he is. No, see, that shit won't be out until tomorrow. Shit.
Yeah.
But he seems to he looks like he would be able to play like kind of like a hybrid, like Jalen Mills type of like corner safety type of.
Yeah. It's a fairly interchangeable position there, corner and safety.
Yeah, I don't know, but all I do now that we're saying all these names, Patriots defense is set for the next 3 years or so because they got Jalen Mills. Really the only question mark, which I guess now is kind of the better time, best time as any. JC Jackson. I don't know how they let him walk this offseason.
Yeah, no,
they can't. You have to at least franchise tag him, right?
Which would be an insult, but yeah.
I mean, it's kind of as long as it's one of those things, if they tag them and they're still working on the contract, because I think they tagged they've tagged a couple people that they ended up signing. 1 year. Yeah, I'm sure they tagged Mayo too before he left. But either way, I don't know. I think you can tag them and then kind of still try to work a deal out because I think if you you'll probably be paying him less if you franchise tag him.
I just don't want to take more of this cornerback abuse from Bill type thing. Like we lost Stephon Gilmore because you didn't treat him right. You didn't know what you had, and I get it. And he's not particularly having a great year, but he's not having a bad year either.
Twisting ankles over there.
You know how they play. It's dirty bastards, but
they stick their ankles out there. I don't know if you've seen when Brian Burns is running, he runs like, I don't want to say like a schoolgirl because that's not like the right thing, but he runs like some sort of weird animated character who sticks his ankle out and just waits to be grabbed. So then he can just complain to it and go run to his mommy.
When you're fishing and you kind of leave the bobber in the water, kind of hanging and move it around.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know. This is Brian Burns. Get your shit together. I'm sorry. Keep going with Stephon Gilmore. What were you saying? Kind of, you don't want to treat corners like shit.
Yeah, I just don't want like the whole Stephon Gilmore treatment for JC, where it's like he gets pissed with the franchise, demands a trade. If we franchise him next season, I don't want in like week 4 he go, all right, like I'm balling out of control this year again, and you're only paying me like $3 million. Get me out of here. And then the relationship isn't salvageable because he's pissed that they're not treating him right. Mm-hmm. Even if we give him the bag, he'll still have negative feelings, and that affects your play on the field. I don't want any of that. Just he's safe. He's a safe bet. He's young. Like I'm always concerned about corner shelf life. Not concerned here one bit. No, one minuscule.
He's young, like you said. He's young. He's young. I think Belichick will play it differently because I think what let Belichick kind of play hardball with Gilmore is the fact that he had JC Jackson.
Yes.
He can't play. And again, this would not be the first time that Bill has played hardball with a player and let him walk. Like it wouldn't be the first time, but it just, I think he knows like you really don't have, I don't want to say you don't have anything because it's an insult to everybody else. Because you have to remember, you still have Jonathan Jones out there, by the way. People forget about Jonathan Jones, who, by the way, I guarantee you, if he was playing against the Bills, McKenzie wouldn't have went off for, $1 billion yards.
I would hope not.
Because Jonathan Jones is actually, I know he's faster than Miles Bryant. I think he's like the fastest one on the defense. But either way, so you still have him, but Jonathan Jones isn't going to give you the safety net to not sign JC Jackson. So I think you have to either franchise tag him or work out a deal, because the sooner you get a deal done, it's going to be a bargain. The sooner you get it done, the more of a bargain it's going to be, because the longer 100%. You let it go, it's just he's going to see other corners sign this off season or something like that. JC Jackson's going to want the money, but you got to think JC Jackson seems to enjoy playing here. But I don't know, because
players enjoy playing in New England. Is that a thing?
Well, I don't know. I did see, former Patriot great Julian Edelman retweet the Patriots win today. The Patriots tweeted out the score and everything. He retweeted.
So he still follows?
Julian Edelman, by the way, I want to say one thing about him too, but he retweeted the Patriots tweet. He just said fun. He just said fun. And then did you see kind of, because now we'll talk about Patriots players talking shit. I think it was Judon before the bye week where he said where the Patriots defense was, balling uncontrollably. Yep. He was like, oh wow, I didn't know that we were shopping at Target. Now, what that is a callback to when I forget who it was said Bill Belichick signed all these people, and the reporter was like, oh, like, yeah, these signings are good if you want to, get bargain basement, prices at Target or something like that. So Judah, they hear it. That's the thing. It's awesome that they hear this and they know what's going on. I think someone else said something too, but Julian Edelman, I don't remember if we talked about it on the podcast last time, to be honest. Did we talk about how he kind of said that he would never go to another team, like what he said? If like Tom Brady. So I guess they had Barstool Sports had Julian Edelman on because he watches games with them, I think every Monday night or Thursday night or something. And they were like, hey, so they were like, I love Barstool Sports. So he was talking, they asked him, they were like, hey, so with Godwin going down from the Bucs, with Evans being nicked up, with Antonio Brown, who will actually, this will be a segue into him as well. If Tom Brady called you, kind of like, hey, Jules, baby, you want to come play? Would you, how quick would you get down to Tampa? And Julian Edelman laughed and everything. And he was like, man, I said this before, Tom did call me, when, the season started. He was like, my mind. And he was like, I'm going to tell you guys kind of the same thing I told him. I'm a one team kind of guy.
That's fucking awesome.
When I tell you, I started to sweat. I had to take a cold shower. I was like, Julian Edelman, it just jumped to, he was already up there. He's in elite status right now for Patriots players I love. Because to say that, because that's the way that I think as fans, that's how you want players to like feel, you want them to be like, oh no, like I love this team. I'm going to stay here. Like all that. Julian Edelman, people forget he almost signed with the 49ers. He was, I think before he got his second contract or something with the Pats, he tested free agency. We thought he was gone. Yep. And then he came back. Kind of the same thing. David Andrews almost left, came back this offseason. Like people aren't going to come back if it's not at least some sort of fun. But Edelman, though, the fact that he said that, I was like, they asked him to kind of before he left, they were like, so Bill Belichick calls you. What happens then? He's like, well, I got to think about it.
I mean, Tom's great. Tom's cool. I love Tom. I still hang out. Tom and Giselle, great people, great company. Gronk, he's my boy. I love him. But I'm not coming back if they call. Bill, if big bad Billy B calls me, it'll probably still be a no. But I'll ponder that shit over for a couple days. I'll think about it. The other one's calling me. I am not thinking about it. Mm-hmm. That's incredible. That. I absolutely love that. And I think a small part of that is because he was on the team when Welker was, and no one thought Welker was leaving. And then in the middle of the night, him and Aqib Talib sneak off to Denver. Talib. I love him. But
who didn't?
I think Edelman saw that and saw the negative feelings some Patriots fans had toward Wes Welker, especially when he came back and beat us in the playoffs. And Edelman's like, I love this fan base. I love this team. I couldn't do that to them. I know how they would take that. Mm-hmm. And it would probably hurt even more when one great wide receiver does it and then his successor does the same thing.
Yeah, no, he would be, because I think Patriots fans, well, not so much with Brady, but with a lot of people, we are a fickle bunch. If you leave us, it's going to be bad. And I think Edelman, he is very involved in the fan experience. Like he gets all like the inside jokes, the whole rumors. He's on social media. He does all that stuff. He knows how the fans feel. And like you said, I don't think he would want the fans to feel that way towards him.
No. It's almost conceited to say that, but like, I'm sure he cares. He's always in Boston too. He really likes this city.
Always. He hangs out here just all the time for some reason, even though he's got a house over in California too.
No, apparently in California is everyone's paradise, and Boston's everyone's dingy, dark, sometimes racist and rainy hellhole, but yet he chooses to be here.
I will tell you, and that's one thing. The one thing about moving to Florida, like 5 years ago, I moved to Florida. By the way, how I say Florida. Someone was listening to they texted me. They were like, "Hey, you say Florida, Florida, which yes,
Florida.
Yes, I do. That is my accent coming through.
Florida.
That's my accent coming through. If I start drinking, you'll see I'll be saying wicked all the time and dropping my R's and all that shit. But yeah, Boston. It makes you miss it when you go other places because like you said, it is kind of like a dark, it's kind of shitty. It's like it's like New York's like weird kind of like druggy brother.
Redheaded stepchild.
Yeah, who kind of like, got arrested a couple times, but everybody still loves him because he's so lovable and all that
he's
stuff.
He's a personable guy on a misguided path.
Yeah, that's all it is. But yeah, Boston, the definitely my favorite city. I can't wait to come back.
That's my home.
But yeah, that's my home. That's my town.
So you do think the Patriots players are having fun? Just
I think if I were to guess, I would say there's definitely fun being had.
Yeah, okay.
I would say, oh yeah, Adrian Phillips said it. That's who else. I think he said it after the game today. He was like, yeah, because they asked him about the contract. Fuck yeah, that's what it was. They asked him about the contract that he signed. He was like, yeah, there's this whole stigma. There's this whole thing about Foxborough where, there's no fun and all that. And again, what did he say? He said, you come in, it is fun. It's hard work. Everybody who comes in here says it's hard work. They always say, it's fun, it's hard work, but the hard work leads to winning. Winning leads to fun. Fun leads to the playoffs. Literally what he said. And it's like, I don't like, it's just, that's just how the Patriots are.
Player that wants to be great.
Exactly. That's what he just signed 3 years for a bargain. He probably could. Well, actually, I don't know if he could have got more. I don't know. Cause like you said, I don't know.
But because of his emergence of the picks he's had this year, when he's healthy, like I think there'd be more than, 5 teams that would.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, he probably would have, but still, it's one of those things where he chose to stay here. Players aren't going to stay here. Players like Kyle Van Noy, players like David Andrews aren't going to sign or almost sign with another team in Andrews' case and then come back. Jamie Collins isn't going to leave and come back 2 times. Devin McCourty, Matthew Slater, they're not going to stay here for that long. James White wouldn't stay here and take pay cuts when he probably could have got the bag and went somewhere else. Like all these players, Trent Brown left, went to the Raiders, came back. Trent Brown, by the way, is the biggest human I've ever seen.
He's disgustingly large. Like
he must be like 7'8".
All the roof ceilings just have to be elevated like another 3-4 feet just to let him walk through most doorways.
Has to be. I saw him block it, or it wasn't even, but he just like got in the way of a corner on one. I think it was over like Stevenson was running or something like that. It was like a toss. And I saw the corner. I was like, what, dude? What do you do in this case? Yeah. Like you can't even go low because like if you do like it, you're just gonna get ran over. So like I don't.
If he falls on you, you're done.
The corner, they say, you are not getting up. The corner just like kind of kept running, like didn't like he like Trent Brown was running
going toward the quarterback.
The corner was coming at an angle. Stevenson was behind Brown, and like they were kind of running towards the sideline, and the corner like just kind of kept running towards the sideline and like tried to stop. I was like, dude, I get it. I was like, dude, you made a business decision there, and I understand.
Because realistically, what are you gonna do if you're a 5'11", 210-pound cornerback dripping wet, and you come around and see that 6'7" meat house? Terrifying. He's just sitting there with his hands up staring at you. I would stop mid-play and just be like, block the shit out of me. You got me. I don't even have to touch you. I know I'm not getting to the quarterback.
Terrifying. Did you see Trent Brown, by the way? I'm just double checking to make sure that's what I think it is. Trent Brown has yes, it is. Have you seen Trent Brown's tattoo that he has on his arm?
No.
Okay, let me describe it to you in as PG terms as I possibly can. I don't know what you might think it's going to be. It's going to be worse than what you think it is. So it looks like it's on his right arm. It looks like it's Trent Brown standing there kind of like this he looks like he's holding a big boulder or maybe the world on his shoulders. Sounds cool so far, right?
I'm loving this.
He has no shirt on. Kind of alarming. Okay. As you start to pan down the
kind of alarming.
I see where his shirt is. So as you pan down the tattoo, there are 2 women. Looks like one is kissing his hips. The other is not kissing his hips. The other, it looks like she's She is performing some sort of act in his 77 jersey. I know that because it says 77. It is it's a wild tattoo. So I don't know if this was from a real picture. It's just something that he dreamed up. Basically, kind of to summarize, Trent Brown holding the world on his shoulders, helmet on too. He has his helmet on. So it's a weird thing. It's almost like he came back from a game, took his shirt off, put a big like world-sized boulder on his shoulders, and then two lovely ladies came in and said, "Hey, sir, you had a good game. Let me let me give you a little, chop block below the waist or something like that." So that is what. And by the way, it's not well drawn. It looks like he drew it, maybe, perhaps. So it's not great. Like anybody listening, just Google Trent Brown tattoo. It's the first thing that comes up. It's wild. But then under it, there's like professional tattoos. So I don't know. I don't know.
He just did his stick and poke like in his free
like
time.
if he just did it on his own. But Trent Brown, by the way. So just for that tattoo alone, I'm
signing him to a Supermax and taking him on any team that I ever support just because of that tattoo.
Different beast there. But yeah, I don't even remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about fun.
It seemed like this game was fun. Oh, speaking of fun. So Couch Guy Sports, by the way, that is who we are. I don't want to say sponsored. That's who that's our home
affiliate with.
That's our home.
That's
Couch Guy
true
Sports.
north.
Go to your home, ball. Go to your home. That is who we are with. I put an article out today after the game. Ted Johnson, former Patriots linebacker, meathead linebacker. Like, I don't know. Do you remember him?
Special teams guy too. Yeah.
Yeah. Like just beast, just has a head that looks like it's just a big rock. He took exception to the Patriots win today. A couple quotes. The gist of the story. He didn't like that the Patriots weren't humble enough. He didn't like that they were excited about this win. Basically what he say, his quote, "As good of a win as this was for the Patriots, they ran up the score. Bill gets this team feeling good about themselves. I feel like a little bit like this team is a little too excited from this win. I don't know if they've been humbled enough the last 2 weeks." Goes on to say he's concerned where the humility is, just wants to keep things in perspective. He says, yeah, they went out there and beat a bad Jaguars team. That's great. They have a playoff spot. Really cool. Basically didn't like that they were, puffing their chest out and all that. And of course he said, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but what do you say? I just thought this team had bigger things, bigger goals in mind than just winning 10 games and getting to the playoffs.
Do you think there's any merit to that?
No, because after the game, Jacoby Myers, Adrian Phillips sitting there saying, yeah, this is great, but the job still isn't done. I think there's a difference from being excited on the field and showing emotion on the field, because at the end of the day, Patriots clinched the playoff spot.
Yes.
I don't know.
I think that's what they were celebrating.
Yeah, that's what it has nothing to do with the win, with beating the Jags. It's just the fact that people forget, because I think this year it's a whole plethora of things. People forget how bad last season felt.
Yeah.
Last season sucked. Last season must be like what it feels like to be
cool.
Other than like the cool plays from Cam Newton and some like the cool storylines going on. Last season, I don't ever want to feel like a Browns fan ever again. By the way, the Browns are eliminated from the playoffs. The Browns, the Broncos, and the Dolphins just got eliminated today.
Awesome.
I don't ever want to feel like that again. So for this team, a lot of these players, actually the majority of them, were here last year when they went through all that. The fans were pretty much booing. Yeah, they were booing them every chance they got. I know not in the stadium, but they were just booing.
Yeah, they booed in the stadium.
Yeah, they did actually a little bit. Yeah, but it's just like you forget what this team's been through. So for them to clinch a playoff berth, that's a huge thing. Huge thing. So if you're going to sit there and preach humility and all that, when you were on teams with Rodney Harrison and Ty Law and Mike Vrabel, who were some cocky sons of bitches,
especially Rodney Harrison.
Rodney, of all the people, don't sit up there on your high horse and say that the Patriots need to practice humility and be humble. And, I didn't think the goal was to win 10 wins. It's not. First of all, the goal is not to win 10 wins. There's still a game left and there's still more games to be played. So I don't, and Jacoby Myers said after the game, he was like, yeah, this is great. We got to build on it. Job isn't done. We got to do the, all the typical Patriot stuff. Yeah. So it's just weird. He had some issue last week too. I forget what his issue was, but he said something else. I think we all had
issues with last week though. I kind of get that.
I forget, but it was like I forget what it was, but it was a weird thing. I forget what the issue was, but it's just like you have all of these like former Patriots players that like decide to use the team to like find relevancy again, because no matter how you felt about Ted Johnson when he was playing, the dude hasn't been relevant. No. Since he stopped playing. That's not even a criticism to him. It's just
like he's not on an NFL Network. Like he doesn't not hanging around the Patriots organization. Like people don't see him.
No, he's not. The thing that pissed me off about this the most was the co-host that was there, Tommy Curran, was like, so what did you want them to do today? Because they were up by 50 points. Like, how did you want them to do it? Like, how do you know what it should be? And Ted Johnson did the thing that I hate when former players say this. He said, oh, well, I know because I used to play the game. I mean, dude, what? Like, that's like the thing where it's like, no, you can't talk about this because you didn't play the game. It's like, what? Like, yeah, really some things that's the case. Like if you're talking about like, I don't know, like traveling with the team or like injuries or something like that. But when you're just talking about something as simple as like a team getting excited, like don't tell me because I didn't play the game.
Like you got some insider trading here that no one else has.
What are you talking about?
When I asked if you had any merit for this, you said no. I originally took the stance of yes, I understand where he's coming from. But after hearing your opinion, I mostly agree with you now because I forgot that they're really celebrating the playoff berth. Like, they're celebrating that there's more season to go. And
exactly, because I felt the same way at first, kind of what you said. Yeah,
they're celebrating to play more games. Mm-hmm. They're celebrating that they get a chance at the ultimate goal, and I get that. I don't think you should always be that stick in the mud that's just sitting there like Kobe Bryant, up 2-0 in the finals with like, Kobe, you're not smiling. Like, aren't you happy? He's like, why would I be happy?
Job isn't done.
Finished. Yeah, he's like, job
isn't done. Yep.
Job finished? I don't think so. Like, I get it. Awesome. Unless you're like, one of my favorite quotes ever. Unless you're like, a psychopath like that, like, I don't think everyone should just be there and miserable. Like, oh my God, we're up 50. No. Like, next week, think about next week. I don't think anyone in the fourth quarter was thinking about the next game. Like, I just don't think they're that type. Like, they're going to celebrate the achievement that they had. They're not celebrating because they beat Jacksonville. Last year, we would have beat Jacksonville. Like, that's not exactly what they're going for. So I just think he's almost trying to be relevant again.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I just don't. I don't know. I don't like the whole, and it's always like the older generation that's like, oh, act like you've been there before. And it's like, they are like, when you clinch a playoff spot, you get excited. They're not celebrating that they just mollywopped 2-13, 2-14 Jaguars team. That's not what it is. They're excited that, like you said, there's more football to be played. That's what they're excited about. So I don't get what's going on there.
Who soon won't be relevant?
Who?
That would be former Patriots wide receiver and probably Hall of Famer Antonio Brown, because as much as not fun as being on the Patriots is, it must be downright unbearable to play for Tom Brady in Tampa Bay if you're just gonna quit. In the third quarter, down 2 touchdowns to the Jets. If you have Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time, and just such a stellar dude leading your team, you can't think you're out of this game. You're like, oh, this is going to be one of many comebacks for Tom Brady, and they're going to win. Apparently not to Antonio Brown, who just chalked it up as a career. He's like, fuck it.
Like, what was he doing? He's sitting there waving to the crowd, like
acting like he's a rock star, like he's putting on some sort of great performance, throwing his stuff up in the stands. Like Mike Evans, I felt bad for Mike Evans. He's trying to talk him off a ledge. He's like, dude, you don't need to do this. It doesn't need to be like this. And Antonio Brown's just not even answering and just ripping his pads off. It's like, dude, are you
just like psycho? Taking his things off? Yeah, like what was he even? I don't know, and I don't think we know yet. I was just kind of looking. I haven't seen anything.
I was trying to find the only thing that could have done it to me was the score. Like, he was involved in the game. He's basically their only wide receiver. Like, Mike Evans has been in and out of the lineup. Chris Godwin tore his ACL. Like, Gronk's, they load manage Gronk at most games. So
as they should.
Yes. But you're the guy. They would have cut you after this whole fake vaccine card thing, but they needed you. And when you are going to be the show, you quit in the third.
I don't get it because the Bucs came back to win that game too. Yeah, which was wild. I don't know. Now I see like the whole like the hot new thing right now is if someone acts like a dickhead or something like that, you're like, oh well, guys, it's pretty clear he has like mental issues. Don't do that. First of all,
that's what I saw too.
So how I see that is that you can't use that excuse for everybody, because I think what that does is you almost diminish people who do actually play this game and have mental issues or things like that. I mean, what's his name? Calvin Ridley from the Falcons had to stop playing football because he had some sort of mental thing. If Antonio Brown Antonio Brown is a dickhead. That's all he is. If you look at his entire career, there's not, and I shouldn't say there isn't any, because who knows? Maybe he has like some sort of anger issues or anything. But guess what, buddy? So do I. And I don't take my shirt off and run off from doing this podcast. Like
when there's like 2 or 3 hours left of work, you just getting naked in the office and calling it like, you know what? This sucks. Why am I here? Just flinging your clothes at your coworkers.
I'm out. When I used to sell cars, I'd be working on a deal 2-3 hours. On that third hour, I'd get up, be like, fuck you guys, take my shirt off, throw it at him, throw the shoes at him. I'm out. Take the keys.
I don't want to make this deal with you. I don't even want to be here.
I'm out. Guess what? My manager's screwing you over anyways. I'm out. So, by the way, anybody who ever like is going to buy a car, hit me up, please, because you are going to get killed if you try to buy a car, because it is disgusting, the things I see people do.
My buddy always says that too. He's a shark, but
oh my God. It's I would feel like a dick sometimes, but like, it's just sometimes afterwards, I'm like, this person's never going to be able to get out of this car. Like, that, right?
The thing's going to die in 11 years and you're going to be paying for it till you die.
Like, there is no way. Like, what is it? What is this application fee? What? Like, what are you talking about? Anyways, don't
preposterous.
Don't buy a car from anybody that you don't know. That's what I would say. But yeah, Antonio Brown, what are you doing? Because it's not a mental thing. He's been a dick his whole career. When he was in Pittsburgh, when he went to the Raiders, where he called Gruden a cracker and all this stuff, and then he went to the Pats. All he had to do was not threaten his baby mom, and that's what he did. Like, and anything.
Did you see those videos?
Which what? Oh, when he wasn't on a team, when he was just like on Instagram Live.
Screaming out his front door at the cops.
With the cops and everything. And guess what?
Kids.
I do not care, because people were saying like, oh, she wouldn't leave the house or whatever. I do not care, because guess what? If your kids are around and this just not something you do. You don't need to record, even if the kids aren't around. Don't record. Then like antagonize the cops too. Like, that's just
what kind of example does that set for your kids?
Exactly. And I'm not like, I'm not a dad, but I'm just like, what are you
neither.
trying
Far
to
from it? I'm an idiot.
What do you do? He was like, far from it, I'm shooting blanks.
I'm infertile. Breaking news.
This podcast just got really serious.
I just start crying. I'm like, yeah, dude, it actually really upsets me.
So Liam's done for the episode.
I just take all my clothes off. Son of a bitch. I didn't
there we go.
Yeah.
It all comes full circle. Take the clothes off. But like, what are you doing? Because it got to the point in those videos. I'm like, wait, who are you arguing with? Like, whose side are you? Because it seems like the cop is trying to be on your, but then you're yelling at them, and then the kid, and then you're not paying people like who do services.
And then the cops leave, and he walks out in the road and is still filming them as they drive down the road. He's just yelling in the air. It's like they can't hear you. They're down the road.
This is just for you. This is for you because you think it's cool. And then on top of all that, people forget he faked a vaccination card. I don't care. Listen, I don't give a shit what your thoughts are on the whole vaccine. I don't care at whatsoever. You like, and the fact that he did end up getting the shot like later.
Yeah. That's
what was the point? in faking.
If you're gonna do it, stick to your guns and be like Kyrie Irving and just don't give it.
Just don't do it. Be like Aaron Rodgers and like beat around the bush. I'd rather you do that than like just do the fake. So like that's just it. The whole like, oh, he might have mental issues. Yeah, he might, but guess what? That doesn't excuse him from being an asshole.
Yeah, I've seen a lot about it because people try and trace it back to when he got bodied.
The Bengals game? You talking about the Bengals?
Yes. When Vontaze
everybody did in that game.
Yes. Oh, I mean, that's a rivalry right there. And like, they hate each other. But
I thought he died.
Antonio Brown truly got sniped, like messed up.
Yep.
And Vontaze Perfect standing on top of him, getting in his face. And obviously Perfect, we know his history. He's been suspended multiple times for hits.
Is he even
like
in the league
that.
Anymore?
No, he got blackballed.
No, right? Okay, yeah, I thought so.
But it's so people try and trace it back to that. And I'm always like, I get it. After that is when all this jazz happened, but it wasn't like immediately after that. Like, it wasn't even like 2 seasons after that. It was more like 3, 4 when he went to the Raiders. It kind of all fell apart of that last year in the Steelers when all of a sudden Juju Smith comes in and is balling. Then the problems start. I think he's just selfish.
Get upset. Yeah, that's all it is. There isn't this underlying like thing where we should feel like sympathy for him. I'm sorry, I just don't. You've gotten chance upon chance upon chance. Like, meanwhile, you got people like Josh Gordon who almost got blackballed just because he liked to smoke weed.
And he's trying. He's not an asshole. He's got
he just has issues. Yeah, like and I know it was a little bit more than weed, but again, like that's just like a different thing. But like, I don't. Antonio Brown. If you haven't seen it, by the way, like just go take a look because all he there's a bunch of videos out there now. You see, like you said, Mike Evans trying to calm him down. Funny. And then he like, you see the ones where like, it's like black and white. It's like an album cover. and then there's the one where it's like, oh yeah, I thought, 2022 was going to be my year. And then it's just like him giving the peace sign to everybody. He's like, see you in 2023. Like all this stuff. And it's just like, dude.
My favorite one was so he's in like the end zone like this as he's leaving, and somebody like photoshops his fake vaccine card in his hand. He's just holding it above his head.
One.
It's so funny.
Shit. I gotta find that.
I'll send it to you. No, it's pure gold. But like I'm not quick to like write this off as CTE because there's no evidence until after you die and they examine your brain.
Yeah,
I think this is just him and the person he is, and unfortunately, it's a sad fact of life. Some people are just dumb. Like, you can't just write everything off as having a cost. Not everyone is born the same with the same talent pool in the same circumstance. No, everyone's different. Some people just aren't bright. Like, I have friends, love them dearly, but they could not figure their way out of a room if there weren't door handles on each door. Like, they just couldn't. They're just not the brightest stars in the sky, and that's fine. I love you. You're a good dude.
It's still fun.
As long as you're nice and you're nice to me and you have good intentions, that's all I care about.
I feel like you're talking about me. I feel like
I am. I'm
being targeted.
Subtweeting you right now, but
that's fine. That's fine. My door has a handle. Thankfully, I can get out. If not,
perfect. Make sure it always does. Those fall off, you're fucked. But I just think like he's just not smart. He's not well intentioned. Some people can just be ignorant. Some people can just be dumb. And just because he's a football player doesn't mean he has to have some enlightened point of view. Like when the Duck Dynasty dude came out and said something racist, everyone flipped out because he was on TV. It's like, you pulled him out of the middle of nowhere in Louisiana, surrounded by a swamp. You think this dude's going to come in and tell you about how everyone should be equal and how he's...
What were you expecting?
Yeah. Do you think he recycles, let alone has incredible feelings on how humans should be treated? Like, come on. People just expect far too much from people who are on TV and who are famous. Yep. And it's like, you don't need to put them on this pedestal. Not everyone's smarter than they are. Take it for what it is. This dude's an asshole.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. I don't think he's no longer on the Bucs. They asked Bruce Arians right after the game. They were like, kind of going back to Antonio Brown, and he like cut off the reporter. He's like, he's not a Buck anymore. He's not a Buck anymore. That's it. Which is good. I don't want the bullshit, the PC, like, we got to look into it. We're going to talk to him, see what's going on. No, he's not. Dude, you don't. It's wild. You take your you take your pads, your jersey, your shirt off. You are shirtless, waving to the crowd, throwing your gloves into the crowd, and you leave in the middle of the third quarter.
There are pictures of him sitting out in front of the stadium calling an Uber. It's hysterical.
The Uber driver or Lyft, whatever it was, I don't know. Both of them are fine. Actually, they both kind of suck, but we have to use them. There's a video of the driver recording himself and like saying something to Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown's like, "Oh, yo, what up? What up?" Like he literally had to call an Uber to leave the stadium. Like, what is, and then he posted something on Instagram too. Is like, oh, they big mad. It's like, no, like, I don't think anybody's like mad. Everybody's just done with you. Like,
yeah, it's like he thinks everyone is just misguided. And it's like, if there's multiple people, you're the factor that goes to all these different places that cause these problems. Is it more likely to be the one thing that goes through all these things or everyone else's problem?
It's you. There is a common denominator. Listen, there comes a point where every relationship you have, it ends up in smoke, up in flames. Sometimes the issue is you. In this case, buddy, the common denominator in all of this stuff is you and your dumbass. It is all you. Oh, he put out a rap song, by the way.
Today.
I don't know if this was planned, but like, I guess
goes right to the studio. I'm going to become a rapper.
Just distract everybody. I don't know. I listened to a little bit. It's better than Le'Veon Bell when he put out his, but it's not good. Okay. Like none of it's good.
It's not good.
But I listened. I was like, what? So maybe this is like his whole plan. This is going to be his rollout. It's going to be like, yeah, I left, they didn't want me. Now, a rebel with a cause. Now I'm a rapper. Like, I don't know what is.
I was making millions of dollars to play a sport on national TV, but I gave that all up to become a SoundCloud rapper.
There we go. Yep. I don't even know. I feel like even the SoundCloud rappers would be like, dude, we don't
like, dude, please, no,
we don't want that. We're really trying here.
Like, we're really trying. We just want a rap deal.
Like, we have put so much work into not being labeled as that. And all of a sudden you come in with your stupid album cover. I forget, or not album. He has like a single cover and everything. It's like a split picture thing of like one with him, I think with like his his helmet on, then one with like his face. And I'm like what? It's almost like he's trying too many things. Like, yeah. What do you?
I think he's a product of somebody who just wasn't too bright, and then their whole life, everyone told them that they were the best. They're like, you are the best receiver out of your hometown. Yep. You're the best wide receiver. You're the best athlete that's ever been to this school. Goes to Central Michigan, far and away the best athlete who's ever attended Central Michigan, and then he goes to the NFL, and then he's like a special teamer, and then blows up as a stellar, probably Hall of Fame receiver. Everyone's like, you're the best receiver in football, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually it all stockpiles in his head. And he's like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Goes to the Raiders, burns that place to the ground. And to do this to Tom Brady too, and I don't like Tom Brady anymore.
He's done it twice to Brady. Yes, he burned him.
The man invites you into his home to stay.
Literally.
And wherever he goes out of his way. Tom Brady's boss doesn't want you. But Tom is sticking his neck out and demanding that you come work for him, making him look bad, and you come and just light that ship on fire, and you don't even go down with the ship.
Do you think he's still living with Brady? Because that's going to be an awkward
that would
dinner.
Be so uncomfortable.
Or if he just goes home and like Giselle's home and she's like, oh, like you're home early. What happened? Like because I'm sure she might be busy, or something like that. And
I would imagine she doesn't watch every game.
She's probably like, oh, where's Tommy? Did you guys not take the same plane or something? He's like,
he just gets there tomorrow. She's like, I thought the team was in East Rutherford till Wednesday. Oh, they are. They
are. Yeah.
He's like, yeah. Funny you mentioned that.
Funny story. So like.
Mike Evans told me that my rap album wasn't great. So I left. I left those fuckers on the sidelines.
There was a lot of stuff going on. My jersey didn't feel right. I felt like there was a bug in my shirt. Giselle, have you ever gotten a bug in your shirt? What do? You rip it off, obviously.
To cap it all off, we were losing to the Jets, Giselle. I was down bad. We were losing
I was down bad.
To the New York Jets. He's just like leveling with her.
Yeah, he's like, listen, straight up, just a bad day. All right.
He's like, I'm also unemployed. I'm gonna need to stay here for a lot longer.
He's like, so do we have groceries? Because I'm not really liquid right now. I saw someone tweeted something. They were like, at this point, you got to think Antonio Brown's in the locker room being like, shit, why'd I do that? What if he just put his shit back on and came out like nothing happened?
Wouldn't that be fucking hilarious?
Like
he left with like 3 minutes in the third or something like that.
Yeah,
when he came back with 5 in the fourth, like they're driving for game and he just comes out celebrating like
just ran on the field, just and lined up, like just ready to go. Like see, if that was the case, then I'd be like, okay, maybe this dude has something wrong.
Yeah,
but like,
okay, maybe
like it just came out not even suited up, still with the shirt off. That's how he would have had to and just line up. But yeah, Antonio Brown, I don't think he will play another down in the NFL.
What a fuck.
I don't think so. I don't think, but thank you. I mean, for like, someone has to thank him for,
really?
Yeah. Like I feel like that would be the initial thing. Like, think about it. He turns around like, hey, Antonio, you know, you're, seems to be home a little early. What's going on? No, let me tell you. Crazy story. Let me go shower first.
Takes a private plane, goes right from the stadium home. She's like, they just finished the game, 45 minutes ago.
She's sitting there watching like the post-game interview. Like, how did you get home so quick?
Knock at the door, opens the door. Antonio Brown's there. She's like, it's like a movie scene. She's like, what?
Yeah. She does the quick
TV. She's like, the Buccaneers, East Rutherford, New Jersey.
He's like, yeah, half day today. That's an early release. That's what it was.
Early release.
In school, how you'd have like the early release. That's all this was. They said, AB, you did enough, man. Go home. Okay. I think that's what.
Hold on, I have to look up his stats for this game because
I don't know what they were, but I guess he was like 8 catches away or a certain amount of yards away from hitting some incentives. So people are kind of starting to speculate.
Yeah, he needed one more touchdown to get like 3.
Yeah, he needed 1 touchdown. I think 8 catches to like hit his incentives. And maybe he thought that he wasn't going to get it. So people are speculating that maybe that's what it was. But dude.
He had 3 for 26 and then just bounced.
I mean, buddy, like,
oh my God.
You didn't even put in a full day's work. Like
he's out here catching N'Keal Harry numbers and then just leaves.
That would be the equivalent of N'Keal Harry in the third quarter. Be like, you know what? F this. I'm mobile. I'm out. Like,
he's like, this isn't working. I'm gonna bounce.
What a dink.
My God.
What a dink.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any of the CTE stuff. I just think he's fucking stupid.
No, I don't. Yeah, I think that's the consensus here. He's just an asshole. That's all it is. There's no, like, if he does have CT, that does suck, but like, you can't explain away everything with CT. Like, that's, I don't know, like that. I mean, that's probably what he'll do. I'm sure he'll have some sort of post. When do you think? You think next week he'll have some sort of post kind of apologizing and everything?
I mean, it's such a social media and like attention driven age that I don't think it happens any time after. If he doesn't apologize in 3 days, I don't think it's going to happen. Like, people's attention spans are so short. I think he gets on that the next couple days, or he just never ever addresses it. Or like he'll do like the thing where I'll go on the barbershop or whatever LeBron's stupid fucking talk show is, where him and Draymond Green, and he'll just sit on in those barber chairs with them and talk about some stupid shit, probably about the incentives. Actually, when you brought that up, like, I wasn't going to get my touchdown catch. Tom came to me on the sidelines and said, I wasn't going to get this touchdown catch. I need that $3 million.
Yeah. Can you imagine? So do you think, so now I'm trying to think of like all the little things. You think Tom Brady came off the field and was like, where the fuck's Antonio? like he sees his jersey on the thing. He's like, what?
He's in the huddle on the next drive. He's like, all right, Antonio, I want you running a post.
Yeah, AB.
He's like looking around, and Mike Evans is just like, oh, Tom,
he's like, bro, I'll tell you after.
He's like, you'll never ever believe. The ref's like, you're about to get a delay of game. Tom's like, all right, let's just snap, just run the ball. Rojo, just run it.
Can you go or imagine if like he's in the huddle and he hears like the crowd and he looks up, and can you imagine being Brady and looking and seeing that in the end zone?
On the opposing end zone, you're just
being like, there's just no way. There's just no way. Like this can't be. Right, I guess they said that the security thought that he was like a streaker, a fan. They were going to tackle him. That would have been amazing.
Imagine how fucking funny that would have been if
we could have had a great thing. But yeah, they robbed us of that moment.
Yeah, they did. He probably would have sued the shit out of them. Though.
That would have been bad because then I'm sure AB would have fought back, and then I don't know what Brady does then. I don't know what Brady does. He probably just like, can you
watching this whole thing go down though? Like the kicker was right next to him, like practicing kicks, and just was like kind of ignoring him. Like when something weird's going on, if you're on like I don't know. If you take public transit in Florida, there's usually that like dude who's strung out on the train and they're like yelling about how the government's trying to steal their sperm and everyone else is just like standing there looking forward,
eyes forward. Yep.
And this dude's just laser focused on this kicking net. He's like, I'm just gonna practice this. And 100%.
If you watch when he's walking away, there's a picture. You have everybody, even fans, going like I don't know what you. I don't like. How do you even react to that? Because I feel like as it's happening, you're like, this isn't,
or just horrified.
You're like, this isn't like actually happening though, right? Like this has to be for like a Hard Knocks or something like that, right? But it's like, no, this is just Antonio Brown. This is what you get when you sign Antonio Brown. You are essentially signing a ticking time bomb. But the trick is you don't know when that bomb's gonna go off. You just got it and you're like, listen, I hope it's like buying an old like landmine and you're like, it might not go off, but at the same time, it very well might.
But don't put it near fire.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, no. It's totally safe, but like just don't like sleep next to it. Like kind of like put it somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't let kids play with it.
Yeah. I'd put it in a room with multiple steel walls, layers around that room, maybe in a safe in that steel melted room.
So I don't. He's an idiot, but I don't think he ever plays again. And
wow. No, he I think he's going to get another chance though, which is the craziest thing. I think
the Chiefs. It's going to be the Chiefs. It's going to be the Chiefs.
It totally would be the Chiefs.
It's going to be the Chiefs.
Andy Reid is just like.
I don't know if you can bet that or not, but I would bet the Chiefs.
You can, yeah, you can bet
the Chiefs. The Chiefs or. Maybe like the Seahawks, some stupid team like that. With like,
I usually think like a team that's like full of like prisoners, like the Ravens.
Like the Ravens, like the Ravens. That's who it would be. Who, by the way, the Ravens killers. Most likely are literally killers. The Ravens, by the way, most likely not going to make the playoffs.
Really,
the Ravens and the Steelers are. The odds are they need a lot of things to happen next week for them to make the playoff. How wild is that? How wild is that? Because they were the 1 seed.
The Ravens started out so hot, and the Broncos being eliminated too. I think they started like 4-0.
Broncos were in the playoffs until like week 7 or 8 or something like that. I think.
Wild. Yeah, that falls apart fast.
Yeah, no, they are. They're out. So kind of actually. So before we kind of touch on the Miami game, before we hit that and then dip out, if the
like Antonio Brown dip out,
if the just fuck this, I'm out. Just leave and like don't even like end the podcast. Like
we just we're halfway through the Miami preview. We're just fucking lose it
and just go. I can just see people sitting there being like did my thing go out? Just 30 minutes of silence.
People are in car rides like, what the fuck's wrong with my radio?
Doing the thing like I get plugging the things back in. If the season if the seeding ends how it is right now, the Patriots will have round 3 against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, I think.
Sounds favorable to me.
I think there's a way for like the seeding to kind of flip for it to be in New England, but odds are right now, because I like assuming everything sticks, which I probably will. Because the Bills are playing the Jets. The Titans are playing the Texans. I think the Chiefs are going to win. Patriots are going to beat the Dolphins. The Dolphins have nothing to play for. So I think this is what it's going to be. Your first round playoff matchup is going to be the Bills Mafia, that zoo of a people over there.
Lion ticklers.
Bunch of lions. One day we'll say what that joke is.
And we already talked about this. It'll be a fiery disaster. It'll be an Antonio Brown type exit.
Oh no! It literally. we will have to do that one in person because there's going to be a lot of back and forth.
Oh my god!
It'll be the Buffalo Bills against the Pats first round wild card weekend. Like you said, I like my odds though. If that's what it is.
I mean, like we already beat them in their own turf. They're also named after a serial killer from a famous movie. I don't have any faith in this team to beat us. I don't think they're capable. Their quarterback is so up and down. Today. Yeah. And what was the final score? They almost lost to the Falcons, right?
Yeah, it was close, and then like they pulled away at the end. I think it was like 29-15 or something. Yeah. But I mean that's just because the Falcons falconed, and that's just kind of like what happens.
But Josh Allen was trying to keep him in that game, though. He was like, let's make this competitive here. You take this one.
His hardest.
Yeah, he was. Hold on. I don't have a receiver anywhere over here.
Let me just. How about you? I think the reason that the Pats might have the upper hand. I think the Bills, and I know everybody says this, and I get annoyed by Patriots fans when they say it, but in this case, I think it's kind of true. I don't think the Bills are going to be able to get up for the game the same way they did last time, because I think the Bills and Patriots, that was, to use the cliche, that was their Super Bowl against the Patriots. So if they play again, I don't think it's going to happen again. And I also don't think that Mac's going to have such a bad game. I think everything is going to go differently.
Yep. We'll have a healthier team for sure.
Yeah, and by the way, Mac Jones did all this today in rainy weather, and it was like 30-something degrees. So
yeah, I mean, shitty here.
Kind of helping that little narrative that he can't throw in the cold, which he is getting better at, luckily. Yes. So Miami, New England. Do you have anything else to touch on before we kind of like just kind of?
No, that's basically it. With all the Antonio Brown pit, that was basically the thing I was looking forward to.
Me too. Can't.
That lived up to it.
Miami should sign Antonio Brown and just have.
I think the Bills should sign Antonio Brown.
Oh my God, he would blow that. Can you imagine him and Stephon Diggs?
Oh my God.
Oh no. Yes, please. That would be amazing.
Hilarious.
I would
as a Patriots fan, I would just love to like watch them collapse from the inside.
You'd see it too. You'd see cracks here and there, and you'd be like, we go.
Stephon.
You'd be like the Joker,
flipping out at him in the huddle every once in a while. They hate each other.
Yeah,
nice.
Antonio Brown yelling at him. Antonio Brown trying to take his shirt off again. Yeah. But, like Josh Allen holding the shirt on or something like that. But yeah, so all that drama aside, there is still one more game to be played, which by the way is sad. NFL season is almost over. Week 18, which does not feel natural to say.
It sounds like a made up thing.
Week 18 though, you got Pats, Miami. Patriots have to go down to Miami. I don't think that matters. I don't think that's the little shop of horrors anymore for them. It's not like I said little shop of horrors. Little shop of horrors. But yeah, I don't think that this is particularly
Miami
close
is
because
kind of a little shop of horrors.
They are a little bit. I have no faith in Miami. They have nothing to play for. Which I guess
are they out of the playoffs after today?
They got eliminated tonight. Yeah.
Nice. That's
so
awesome.
Again, that does make a team somewhat dangerous, but I don't think that's going to be the case with this team. Because I do think that the Patriots will have something to play for, not a playoff, berth, but just kind of seeding wise. So I think the Pats go in there. I mean, I was off of my prediction for this game. I think I said like 24-3 or some shit like that, 23-9.
I was close though. I said 40.
You were close. Yeah. You said 40 to like
45, 45-3.
45. Oh yeah. 45. You were close. I think that was like the score at one point too.
Yeah.
Almost. But I think the Patriots I think Mac has a good day. I think it's another really good game kind of all around for everybody.
Yep.
I'm going to go 33-13.
33-13 Pats.
Yeah.
I think it ends up being a 17-10 affair.
17-10. Oh, I like that though. I like a nice gritty win going for the playoffs.
It's like the Patriots have all these high scoring affairs. Like even their last two losses before this were fairly high scoring affairs. And it's just like, I'm waiting for one of those slow games. I think this up one's coming up.
This might be
the Dolphins defense is pretty good. It's just their offense is just fairly inept.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing, because I mean, everybody likes to talk about how Patriots lost to them the first week of the season. People forget there's no fumble. Patriots do win that game.
100%.
But yeah, I think this team is the team that the Miami is playing in week 18 is leaps and bounds better and different than the
completely different team. Might as well be a different
kind
team.
of the same for Miami too, but I just don't think that even this Miami team, I don't think that they can beat the Patriots. I like a nice stress-free blowout game, but I would kind of like a nice 17-10 win.
Yeah, I was talking about I was watching the game with my mom earlier, actually, some nice mother-son bonding time, and she was like, I just hope this is a blowout so I don't actually have to be stressed out. And I was like, me too. Like, I don't think this is going to be close, and I would love that. So, by halftime, I was like, so I might go take a shower and, do other things while I watch this game.
if I miss like the kickoff or like, of the half or something like that, like, oh no. Like
she was like, yeah, do you want like buffalo chicken dip for the next set of games? I was like, yeah, that sounds fantastic. And like just fired it up.
That is the dip to have.
I told her if the answer is ever no, take me out back and shoot me.
Yeah. Buffalo chicken dip, by the way, best dip for a game, right? Probably the best food you can have for a game.
I eat that with my hands like a ravenous animal. Just scoop it up.
Any edible thing that I can scoop it up with, like, because eventually you run out of chips. You're like, well, what the fuck else do we have? Pizza. Yeah. Yep. Put it on the pizza. Put it on pizza, by the way. If you put it, tremendous. Really? If you put buffalo,
marvelous.
I mean, it's basically just like buffalo chicken pizza,
which is incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, no, I think Pats take business in Miami, take care of business in Miami, and then we're on to the playoffs, man. Patriots are playoff. If assuming they win, I was off on my score prediction by 1. I thought they were going to be 12-5. They will end up being 11-6, assuming they win next week. Good season.
Way off, right? I had them.
Do you have like 30? What do you have more than me? Did you have more than 12 wins?
More wins, yeah.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah,
I think 13-4 then.
13-4, yeah, I think so. So, but still, 13-4 because of the fucking 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 13-4 because there's 17 games.
Okay,
yeah. God, yeah. See, math is not our. See, we talk footy football. That's what we do. Yep, we talk football and eat buffalo chicken dip. That's all.
I was held back in almost any math class that I've ever taken ever. If I had the option, I probably would have pulled an Antonio Brown and just flipped out and left all those classes. So it's a good thing I didn't have this idea at the time.
Well, I didn't end up graduating high school. I didn't get to walk with my people. So
really,
kind of to make you feel better. Yeah. Oh, it was shitty. Yeah, it was very shitty. Kind of looking back, not really for me. Like, I guess I kind of cared looking back, but yeah, more for like the family and all that stuff. But yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah. I didn't. I still got my diploma and all that shit. Just it came a little late. It was on layaway, so I had to wait for it to.
You have an interesting origin story.
I do. Yeah, my origin story. Yeah, it's it's interesting. So yeah, no college or anything. Just went to Walgreens. Got fired for stealing.
Nice.
And then I probably shouldn't say that. Yeah. But yeah, it was it was crazy. So
I don't think Walgreens is going to be taking you back. So.
It was the dumbest thing. How it happened is like they took me into the office and then they were like, hey, so we have you on camera. They showed me on camera, literally had a shopping bag, went up and down the aisle, put shit in, went, I'm going to pay for it when I leave my shift. Didn't, walk right out. I knew the sensors didn't work. I was good to go. And they were like, so like, what did you take? And I was like, I took like an energy drink. I took candy. I took a 5-hour energy. That was it. They were like, okay, so that's like what? Like $14. It's like right around there. And they're like, so like, have you been doing this like since you worked here? For some reason, this was like the only time I told the truth in my life. Like I was like, I could have just lied my way out of it. But I was like, yeah, I probably every day. Like, okay, so you work 6 days. They did all this math. They were like, okay, so it looks like you've stolen, I think it was like $600 and something worth of stuff. And I was like, I don't know where you think you're getting that money, but in my head, because I think I was like 18 at that point, but I was just like, yeah, that could be it. So they're like, so you can either pay that or we have to fire you. And I was like, it looks like I am no longer going to be working here. So yeah. And then, yeah, to this day though,
you were degenerate.
I am still a 5-hour energy fiend. I will still, even if I buy,
so bad for you. You're gonna die.
If I buy things, this is how bad it is. I will have a whole grocery cart full of things. I will still steal the 5-hour energy, just off principle.
Just off the real.
They charge you like $5 for those things.
It is, yeah.
Hell no. You go in, you do a little look, put it behind something, and walk out the store.
Yep,
that's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen.
Easy money. But tips from Sully.
Before I implicate myself on more things, we're
about to get an indictment from Walgreens after this episode goes up. Gonna get served.
Antonio Brown's gonna come and say, "Hey, bro, want to hop on my next track? We're both bad boys. Yes. We can both kind of get on there, be little rebels together."
So the shit about you stealing 5-hour energy. I fucking love that hustle, man.
I do it too, bro. Let's do it together. We'll take like 10 of them. So for Liam McDade, Mike Sullivan, don't steal, don't do drugs,
don't go to the playoffs.
We are in the playoffs. Just to take care of Miami next week, and then guess what, baby? We're in the playoffs. We're in the
Miami.
dance.
See we you are in the dance in Miami.
That's it. See you guys in Miami. Adios. We out.
Sweet Pete.
Sweet Pete.
Stealing.
Sweet Pete.